dude, they're fucked up, man. They say, oh my god, your wallet's on fire. Stacking sats, I'm pumping higher. Ooh, yeah. Grab my trades, my dear, chase the moon so bright. Crypto's got me rocking, dancing through the night. Ooh. You hooked me deep when I bought that pump. Ooh, yeah, I'm spinning wild till the bull run jumps. Ooh. Pump for me, pump for me, pump for me. Oh, 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 oh. Stack those gains, stack those gains. Go, go, go. I've never felt a moonshot blaze like this before. Ooh. They say, ride it up, I'll dance it all once more. They say, move for me, move for me. Hey, hey, hey. Bull runs close, I swear I'm the play. FOMO's beat won't stop, I'm a pumping star. Crypto hums my groove, dancing near and far. Ooh. You hooked me deep when I bought that pump. Ooh, yeah, I'm spinning wild till the bull run jumps. Ooh. Pump for me, pump for me, pump for me. Oh, 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 oh. Stack those gains, stack those gains. Go, 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 go. I've never felt a moonshot blaze like this before. Ooh. They say, ride it up, I'll dance it all once more. All once more. All once more. Ooh, yeah. Chasing sats till the floor's on fire. Woo. Oh, oh, oh. Good for me. Yeah. Orange ruby. Yeah. Stacking sets, I'm on the chase. Blockchains revving up my pace. Candle spike, I feel the thrill. Bitcoin's got my heart to spill. Oh, oh, moon's in reach. Oh, oh, feel the beat. Oh, oh, bulls break free. Pump it hot, it's me. Pump it, Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Pump it, hit the moon. Pump it, oh, oh. Pump it, zoom, zoom, zoom. Pump it, Bitcoin. Pump it, ride the groove. Pump it, oh, oh. Pump it, zoom, zoom, zoom. Moon rises, I'm lifting you. Hands bold, my fire's true. You, BTC, it's my spark. Pump like the dark. Woo! Pump it, the Bitcoin. Pump it, hit the moon. Pump it, oh, oh. Pump it, zoom, zoom, zoom. Woo! Pump it, the Bitcoin. Pump it, ride the boom. Pump it, oh, oh. Pump it, zoom, zoom, zoom. Pump it, the Bitcoin. Pump it, fast and free. Pump it, oh, oh. Pump it, Bit2re. Pump it, zoom, zoom, zoom. Pump it, the Bitcoin. Pump it, hit the moon. Pump it, oh, oh. Pump it, zoom, zoom, zoom. Pump it, ride the groove.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry! Oh my god! Oh! It's okay, Habib. No, I'm just, oh my god! And the image will forever be burned in my mind. Habib, I'm just playing with my ding-a-ling.
Jesus, I can't believe I'm forced to see this.
We always start the show with the ding-a-ling. I just starting with mine early. That's all. That's what it was. Habib is the ding-a-ling. Playing with the.
I'm calling HR. I'm sorry.
Oh, jeez. Here we go again. Check 1 2 1 2. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for the taking.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I should say thank you very much.
Welcome to the Late Night Crypto Road Dog. I am your host, the Traveling Turkey. Ladies and gentlemen, we're sitting here and I'm fighting with this computer because it just seems to be slow as Christmas, even though Christmas is getting here a little sooner. So here on the daily for altcoins, I mean, we've seen some gains and we've seen them give a little bit back, but mostly we're seeing some kind of nice things happen out of these altcoins. Will it last? How far will it go? Some people are already starting to call for altcoin season again, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but let's be real on what altcoin season is and what a rally is. Altcoin season is like every day you come to look at your little phone and your little account and all these little things, and it's like, that number's going up. It's another 10%. It's another 15%. And then you come back the next day, it's like, that's another 7%. That's another 10%. And you come back another day, the next day after that, it's like, oh my God, 25%. It's up another 25%. And that's what altcoin season feels like, okay? I haven't had a really good one since about 2017. Altcoin rally is like, oh man, we're up today. And the next day is like, oh well, that was cool. I guess it's over. Wait for the next one. Or maybe you get a couple of days where you get a nice little rally. Feels like an altcoin season, but it doesn't last very long, and you get back the gains. Oh my gosh, that took all the air out of me. I need to do more cardio. Oh my gosh. I'm back.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you very much.
My heart's already going, and then Elvis trying to kill me. Ladies and gentlemen, 7 people hanging out here. Let me give you a shout out and say hello to everybody before we start looking at all this. I got some coins to go over. I hope you got some coins to go over too. And before I forget to do it, I'm going to go ahead and put this little button over here. Please work. Please, did it work? Did you work? Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. I don't see that you're working. Yeah, it seems like it tells me it worked. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I put this little marker into the chat to, throw your altcoins out there because I got a few that I'm going to look at, which are the moonshots that Tokenmetrics have been putting out there recently. See if we got anything there. If there's any kind of play, kind of short-term trade idea, anything to make a few little extra bucks here on the weekend would be kind of awesome, and I want to share it with you guys. Anyway. In the meantime, before I get into the indices and start looking at things, we can come over to the chat. pull you down over here. 9 people hanging out with me. Thank you very much. I started the show at 8:30 tonight. 8's a little too early. I gotta say 8 p.m. my time. Back home where I'm from, it's like 7. I'm like, oh, he's gonna. It's the summer, man. So I'm playing with 8:30, 9ish o'clock, something like that. I'll see. I don't know. If nothing else, we go back to 10:30. But it kind of runs my night to where I stay up all freaking night if I have a late show. And I found that when I did one earlier, I was like, wow, I got lots of time in the evening to do stuff that needed to get done that I've been putting off. So I'm kind of liking the little early time frame. See how it works out, trying to track this. Let me give a shout out to everybody hanging out here. We got Road Dog, who was first tonight. Hey, congratulations, Road Dog. Oh, my bad. That's the little self-agreed. We got So, who was first tonight. So, how's it going? Congratulations. Glad to have you here. I see we got Haven Tech, Duality C. Hopefully they're showing up on my screen here. My computer's running a little slow. OG1, what's a shaking? You are. We all are. Shake it. We probably need a little something shake-amonious over here. Let's make this into a party. It is the weekend. I'm going to grab the old disco ball out here. And, well, I kind of look for some things that's got some legs to it tonight. Some of these altcoins. Maybe we'll find some good setups and post it over to the group, especially if I find some good conviction on it. Find some good deals. Look at coins you guys want to look at. Look at something I want to look at. Kind of go from there. And let me get our little dancers out here tonight. Ryan K, how's it going? Joe from Trade Intuition, how's it going, Joe? Good to see you here. Joe is a fellow YouTuber over here, and you can go over to his channel, Trade in. There we finally. My gosh, this thing slows up when I go live for some reason. Still haven't figured out that problem yet. Wow, look, this was a nice computer system. I don't know what's going on. Internet, the internet seems to be okay. I think I'll just sit here and bitch about my slow-ass computer system here. I put memory and all this other crap into. You think it would do better? What happened? Joe, as a fellow YouTuber teaching TA, he does it every day. I saw him streaming earlier today. And see if we can copy that link over here and post it into... Oh, picked up the wrong one again. Like the boomer I am. This would be a good place to have, you know, some proper streaming stuff. Why are you not working? All right, well, that's not working. Well, that sucks. We should be a little bit more together here, huh? This would be a great place to have a crypto show that, there we go. Did it do it? Oh, for crying out, there it is. So I think we got him posted up there, that link. And go check out and give him a like and a sub. And yeah, Josh, Joe, you're growing 2,000 or 2,200, 22,500, right? Pretty gosh darn good, Joe. Congratulations, my man. Oops. Watch my mouse go all slow here on me. All right, so let's come over and let's take a look at Bitcoin and see what it's doing. Basically going sideways for most of this weekend so far. Wouldn't doubt if we can continue doing that. Still looking for it to come down to some of these other places somewhere around, you know, this 116,800. Let that sink in. Bitcoin at 116,000. Not too long ago, it was somewhere around 78,000 scaring people, even, you know, going back down to 93, 94,000, 98,000. We're at 116,000. Let that sink in, because it was not looking like it. It was starting to look like the sell in May walk away bros were the real winners there for a while, until it decided to pop up here and hit 120,000. Oh, really, at 116 and then 120. Things are looking very interesting for Bitcoin, kind of going along what we were hoping to see, bouncing off of a few key areas that were down here in this area, about 103, and it just looking juicy from there. So we've kind of hit the targets that I've had, that 118, 119, or 119. Can we go higher? Are we getting a bigger pullback? And it would look fitting for us to have a little bit of a pullback. These are just some local areas I'm looking for just to see what she's trying to do. It looks like it wants to it looks like it wants to make a flag or some kind of a pennant, right? And flag to the upside. That's the general first impression that you get. But you know, when you get a move like that, they can all start this way, but they can turn into other stuff that's not nearly as bullish as a flag to the upside. Like kind of like what happened over here and over here. Those flags to the upside, bull pennant, were actually at resistance areas where pivots happen, and same thing's going on right here. That's what this red line is. It's a pivot area. It's a 1.272 Fibonacci. That's an area where I normally look for the things to go the other way for a minute. And that's where we are. I mean, it may be the early stages of that before we get a nice big pullback and come back down for a little bit, okay? A good time frame for that is probably in about within the next week to the next 2 weeks. I could see that happening for some other reasons, but I've kind of got my eye on that. So am I seeming bullish? Well, no, I want to give it a chance to do what it needs to do and get up there. And so let me get these little guys off of here. I'll probably have to redraw them. Basically, let me just put them back. I'm going to have to redraw them. What we're looking at for right now is the possibility of it being a flag. And if it is, I'm looking for, that's why I put these guys back up there, 116,300. Or 114,600. Those areas right there. Most likely, most promising would be right here. We just touch down and then instantly bounce from there and start shooting for a higher high. And we could start be looking around 123 or something like that. Maybe up to 126 if we get the full extent of the measure move or higher. That could happen. It's 4-hour candles. This is Saturday night. We go into Sunday night. And then if they do decide to pump the market on a Sunday night into Monday, like sometimes they do, it could play out. So I'm watching that. But I'm just going to say right now, that's not normally what we see happen. It's not normally what we see, but it could. So I don't want to be bearish. No, that's never going to, because we don't know. But I want to say, if it does happen, I don't want to miss out on it. So we look for it, right? But more than likely, what would normally happen in the situation is that we get a bigger pullback. And it could very well come back to retest this local high area, which is now a 618 Fibonacci area. It could be a deeper retracement there, or a couple of little areas up above. Most notably, this one that we just broke over. So all we can do right now is just watch and see and look for the signs of what it might do, what it probably will do. And right now it's saying I'm ready to just start going on up, or I'm ready to start coming on down. She's got us where we don't know. What I can tell you, she's below the 9 moving average. We apply those standards that we have there, so we're feeling a little bit bearish, and it brings the 21 into play, which is down here 115. Otherwise, janky. This is not the time to be thinking I'm going to get in on this flag and you got a tight stop loss and willing to lose that money, because it's a very risky proposition to be entering any kind of new trades here at a top. And that's basically what the flag is, the pennant is. It's a top. It's a buy high, sell higher play. And it's just not the best play. The best plays are buy low, sell high. Buy near the bottom of a trend line is what I try to do. So she's a little high, but as she's high and going sideways, that's good for altcoins. And we've seen some of that. This is where we come over and look at our indices real quick before we slip back to that chart, look at them more in depth. But total 3 still looking good. That's our altcoins, right? Looking for it. She could be coming back a little bit more. She kind of making one of them flaggy shapes too. It looks like she's still got most of that trend line intact there. That's cool. And then we got Bitcoin dominance over here. Above my little doji over there, and it's still in this process of possibly making some kind of a bearish pennant that could drop down lower. That's what we hope to see. But I'm telling you, Bitcoin dominance has been very, very tricky. And the more that this Bitcoin is drying up on exchanges, and that's what the fundamentals are showing us, that's what the on-chain analysis is showing us, that Bitcoin's not available on exchanges as much. And we've talked about this over the past several years since we've been on this channel, and that's when you're really going to see the effect with all the demand. And man, the demand for Bitcoin now is bigger than it's ever been in the history of Bitcoin, and the supply of Bitcoin available is at the lowest that it's been. it's going to get interesting. And you don't think that those big numbers could come, or it seems improbable. And I'm not trying to be a moon boy, but that's the situations we get into when we do see things spike up to $250,000 Bitcoin at some point. Sounds crazy as F right now, right? But give it just a little time, and you might see that happen. Our bear markets on Bitcoin, I don't think are going to be quite as harsh anymore. Bitcoin should kind of mature a little bit like gold and some other things and get a little bit more stable. It's going to get interesting. You don't want to fade Bitcoin. That's my message. Don't fade Bitcoin. And clearly this cycle, the altcoins have shown you that's not where the majority of the money is. Everybody's eyeing Bitcoin. That's what we've been preaching on this channel for a long time. And not popular, and but it's how it's worked out. It's how it's worked out, the dilution of the altcoins. But there's still good plays in altcoins. I do believe that. They'll have a chance, and most of us are already in them anyway, so we gotta ride it out and see what we can get out of this little deal anyway, right? I know I've got several altcoin bags. I'm just waiting to hopefully see where they were a year ago when Daddy would be happy. I want to take a look at a few that are popping off. These are the moonshots from Tokenmetrics. Now, these would just be kind of short-term trades, I believe. Maybe there would be something there for a little bit of a swing trade or a longer-term hold, but most I'm looking at them is possibly, these are kind of degen projects that are under $50 million market cap. Meaning, hey man, that thing gets up to 100 million or 500 million, you made some bank. And we're not dealing with something that's already 1, 2, 3 billion that takes a lot of money to get to move. They could move faster, but they are riskier plays. So I'm going to look at the charts and see if see what the TA tells us, if there's any kind of setups that look promising, or is it too far gone? What's going on with it? One of them is Slurf. Hey, Slurf. This one came out. Big Boy and his side chick were kind of hot on it back in the day. You guys seen BitBoy lately? I got a picture of him. I'll share it with you. Just because. Or is this the lounge? This is BitBoy. This was BitBoy back in the shilling days. And then this is BitBoy recently. Big difference in that. I bring this up because it's a reality you need to be aware of, that if you do get lucky enough and make it in this market, now whether you do it through your actual trading and investing or whether it's through shilling or other words, that tends to affect them more, I think. But money coming in that you're not used to, it can and will affect you. It will affect you up here. And it will affect the way that you present yourself to other people. It kind of lets your inner asshole come out. So if you're a hidden asshole before, when you get money, you're definitely going to be more of an asshole. It's kind of like cocaine, what I've been told. Just try to keep that in mind. It's very subtle too. I notice you'll notice it when you're on your phone or whatever. You're like, that number go up. You're like, yeah. Yeah. Don't talk to me that way, baby. You don't. No, you need to appreciate me. Yeah, because it'll mess with your head. I'm just saying. That's why, in my personal opinion, I don't know. This whole trading journey is really about self-discovery, man. It really is, if you do it correctly, because it'll make you take a look at yourself on a lot of different levels. First, to control your emotions, so you're not out here chasing all these green candles, right, and saying, I'm going to buy this one. Look, it's up high. Everybody wants it. Let's jump in. Because that's what you first want to do, right, is chase the green. But it's all the psychology. It's what's going on between your ears and the feelings that you got in there, and you can get lost in that, and it's not real. You gotta find some sense of stability within yourself here, and it'll lead you in that direction. At least in knowledge that you need that, and of course, and then you got to work on finding that peace. The peace I found is mostly with our Lord and Savior, our Creator. Gotta throw that in. And I hope everybody else can find that peace too. You don't have to be a religious nut or anything like that. You just gotta believe. You just gotta ask for that help and say, Jesus, show me you're real. Help me out. Light my path because I can't do it myself. And he'll be there. And it'll start lighting your way for you. Right here, we got Slurf. And to me, it's a very possible bounce here off of this structure, a rising wedge, which is normally bearish. It decided not to be. Could be bouncing. Finding the higher highs. That would be cool. I like that. Let's see, is there another argument that we can make? Because that's all we're doing here. When we're doing TA, we're just making an argument. One of my mentors says it's kind of like you're a court attorney, or you're an attorney in a case before a judge. You got to make your case. Is there a case? Do you see it going up? Why? Okay. Well, my argument is it broke out of a bearish pattern, and it seems to be retesting it. It's not fell back into the pattern. That could happen, and that would suck and bring us back down here. But at the moment, it has not. And it's retesting what its new 382 fib area. And that's kind of juicy to me. And that gives me a setup idea that I have a lot of faith in, because I've seen them work out so many times. They don't work out every time. But that takes us up to our 618 Fibonacci area. Our 1618 to be exact, of 9.6 cents, just a little under a dime. Would that be a cool play if that scenario works out? That's the scenario that I'm looking at. It could possibly work out from what I see here for a setup, and that's all we can do in trading is look for a setup, look for a probability, look for something that can happen. Could that happen? I did it from down here. I'm zooming out a little bit and looking at the market structure. So we got a possible double bottom scenario going on with a higher low. Let me measure that little guy real quick. Should be like a 786 retracement. Bingo, got that. Woo, locks it. So let me look on the bigger picture of things. And I'm just finding confluence of different ways to do this that line up. Now, right below that is our actual main 618 Fibonacci, and that's an area where a lot of people short. And a lot of profits taken in those areas by people, bots, however, the program. 9.4, I got 9.6, so we got some confluence in that area. That could be a decent little target. What would that target get us as far as returns, though? 23%? Okay, we could probably work with that. The stop loss might be a little tricky because just depending, you could get stopped out easy here if they just wick down into this pattern and then go up. That kind of sucks. That's the game plan you would want to avoid in a situation like this, where you can do something like that. That would suck balls. So one way to do it is put a big ass stop loss, but that kind of limits on how much your entry could be for your risk to reward. So yeah, you can tie your hands that way a little bit. A little stop loss over here about 7.2 cents, a little bit better. It could still come and get you, but so the R's on this little guy, just to that target alone, let's say a stop loss is here. That's 6%. That's not bad though. A 6% stop loss, 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. That's doable. That's not even up there at the target. About 3.5 to 1% ratio. That's not bad. So I kind of like that idea. That's kind of interesting for one of the moonshots. And just kind of zooming out, I want to try to play it as a swing trade. I think that's where it'd be a lot more interesting. As a swing trade, what would you look like, baby? About this 13-cent area, I would be targeting that for a take profit zone, and I would be targeting this 19% area for a take profit zone as a swing trade. Trying to get my horizontal line here, and she's not cooperating. 18 people hanging out with me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. If you're new, let me know. Give me some threes in the chat if you're new and haven't seen the Turkey do TA. I might trip your balls off. Woo! All right, so in the bigger picture of things, besides this little short term, I kind of did backwards. We went with the short term action and then got the bigger picture idea. That'd be after completing the possible double bottom. Another good target is 11 cents right here at the butt crack of this double bottom idea there. This is one of the patterns that we do like when you kind of zoom out. A double bottom situation. Whoa, kind of hot. We need to do a little bit more Bulgarian squats with this side though. That's okay, honey. That's okay, honey. I won't judge you. And now from those ideas, now a swing trade could possibly get that. You can get a nice little swing up here to 13 cents from there. And then suddenly you got like 80% gains. $100 could turn into 180. So I like those ideas better, and maybe you take a little bit of profit and let the rest of it ride over here to 19 cents. And then cash out with 143, and then so those are, everybody's got a different way to play this, and I know a lot of people are trying to scalp and things, and maybe make my argument, but I don't want to hold an altcoin for that long. Oh, okay, touche. There's a lot of different ways that you can play this market, but Slurp is one, and it does look kind of juicy to me for and on several different accounts, or for a longer term trade or even the shorter term trade to play there. And again, that shorter term play from where we are, if it goes up there, could be possible 25% gains. Here's one that I'm not familiar with called KeyCat. Keyboard Cat. It's on Coinbase. It's on you got it on COINEX. MEXC. I'll look at it on COINEX. Wow, you were so lightning fast again. Look at you, TradingView. My gosh. So we're on the daily chart. This is when the Tokenmetrics moonshots. Okay. That's interesting. Now my play on it would be because we're at a bottom. With this kind of idea that we're on a bottom ass trend line, or as near it as we can be, where we got as much touches. And we've been up here at almost 1.8 cents. We're at a little under half a penny. From here, get back to the top to retest that area we were. 300% gains. That's a lot to ask, probably. And that was the November price tag. We haven't done that all this time in the past 8-9 months. Haven't been up anywhere near there. Have been to 0.008, and we have doubled up a couple of times. First area is 0.005. I don't even want to mess with that. There's definitely, you could do a short-term play up here to 0.0079 in that area from where we are. This is on the daily chart, and that's 97% gains. That's not bad. If I were going to play this one, though, I would... I'm interested, honestly, I'm interested in these areas over here, which may take it a while, but that's just how I look at it. That's not bad, though. If it got up here to 0.008, basically, you could moonbag it and let the rest of it ride, and it could double up again at 1.2 cents and 1.5 cents. And it's likely for it to come back up at least these areas. I don't know about making a higher high. That would be awesome if it is, but it's kind of like, why are you going to go for that right now? That's too much to ask for right now. It could happen. It's due for it to happen, but it could be a 5x if it does eventually work up there. Whatever, when it starts moving, we want to start seeing it do something a little bit more like what it did here. Have a nice, get some nice big moves. That's why I think that 0.008, 0.009 area is pretty decent for this one. I don't know anything about this. It's some meme coin on something, but it's a Tokenmetrics moonshot. There might be some gains there to be had. Just saying. Let me come to the chat. See, I got 4 more from the Tokenmetrics moonshots. I'll kind of mix in here, and let me come over to the chat and see what you guys are looking at. Let me go back to my. Well, let me get this thing working. There we go. John Frisbee, how's it going? Can you look at space and time? Not familiar with that. Take a look. Ryan K says OPAI NKN. Doge. Diaz says Pingu. A lot of people looking at Pingu right now. It's been doing good. Ethereum, Solana, the bread and butter ones. K Diggity, how's it going? Good to see you. Luke L says Binecoin on one day stretch that bad boy out. Double bottom. Binecoin. I haven't looked at that one in a minute. Avi Medina says took a slurp of slurf. It looked interesting. I probably forgot what the price. I remember when it was out. I used to have some of it. It was a fair launch. I remember that because I think they screwed up and burned something. I don't know, but they made it a fair launch. I don't know. It should have a fair chance, I would think. Then I think everybody forgot about it. But if it's catching up traction again, they look pretty decent. All right, space and time. So we got the slow computer system. I'm going to come over here to. I don't know if he'll be here or not. Space. Oh, S. It does have a ticker. Okay, I just lost it. It was X something. XXP. SXP. Have it got it over here somewhere? Okay, it's on Binance, Kraken. Oh, there's one called Solar too. I don't know. Let's make sure we get the right one here. It flashed up here, but then it stopped, and then now it's not here anymore. What if I do SPX? Huh. I saw it for a short glance. Space and time. SXXT. XXT. That's it. Okay, so it is there. I'm not crazy. Space and time. SXT. SXT. Have we got you over here? Coinbase has got you? Kraken's got you? Binance has got you? KuCoin's got you? Let's take a look at KuCoin. Clearly, I'm going to have to look into my internet. We've also got Mercury coming into retrograde soon, so that's going to be fun. Wow. My apologies, everybody, for the slow internet and slow TradingView. I don't think I'm the only one having this issue with TradingView, though. Although it doesn't seem fun. Is there anything else that I can do here? So is that all we got? Okay, so this is what we got for space and time. Alright. Well, she's got a bottoming pattern down here, a bottoming area. Let's see what we got. So I see 3 rising valleys. 3 rising valleys. Or some people say, it's a shoulder head and shoulder. Oh, yeah, whatever. 3 rising valleys here. It all still translates into a channel. With this little line right here, so that's the area we can come back to retest, about 7.6 cents. This is our 382 Fibonacci. This is my favorite way to do this. This is my favorite. Man, the fibs are right on target with this thing too. Fibs are lining up really nice. There'll be a lot of confidence on this. Oh, nice. Can it be that easy? You just draw a fib and draw lines and that's your target? It can be that easy, folks. That's all you need. It's a good little system to work, and as simple as this one is so good. It's so good to play. All you got to do is plan a trade. I need an entry and a sell point, and I don't want something that the price is just going to go through and keep on going. I need something that has a pivot point, and that's what the fibs are good for. They help you find the pivot points, and that doesn't always work out the way you would imagine. But if you look to the left and you see the little hiccup spots, well, those are the juicy spots to go with. And so it's telling me that 9.8 cents, and even up here at 12.4, it may just go right on through that 11.11 area. It might just slide on through. It may not. Maybe you'll get a hiccup there. We'll see. We'll see. And each one of these little levels lets me gauge the temperature and the strength of this overall move and progression. And it's like me taking a measuring stick and a thermometer at the same time, watching how this market, and every step that we get up above, man, I'm like, oh, we can get closer to this other spot up here too, right? And it's not just level like one fib over the other. There's actually some systems, some strategies or some techniques that we can use that targets certain other areas that is likely to go tap for a higher high or a lower high even. And those are the things we're looking at with these fibs, right? And so right here where we're at, we're testing that first one, man. And anywhere below this 8.3 zone, from what our fibs is telling us, is the sweet spot to build a bag. So we're still in build a bag territory, but you're at the upper echelons of it. You like that, this train's trying to leave the station, baby. You better get that bag full. And for a 20% gain, if you want to take some profits over here at 0.098. 20% gain, take a little bit of profit and leave some other in that bag and take the rest of it at 11 or 12. That's kind of the swing trade ideas that I look for and kind of explain it out. Everybody does things different and has a different take, but maybe you'll hear something, you'll say, hey, I kind of like that better than what I've been doing. You might say something, I might say, hey man, I kind of like that better than what I've been doing. It's about sharing information. My personal opinion is what makes this channel so special. You guys throw out some very good projects from time to time, and we can come across things I wouldn't normally look at, and I throw out some that you probably wouldn't look at, and that's what makes these channels special, I believe. 50% if we can get up to that 618 area where we were up there before, just a couple of months ago. Sounds very doable. $100 here could turn into 150 there, and that's pretty decent. So XDX, this is space and time. I've never heard about it, and I don't know anything about the tokenomics of it. What does it look like? Maximum supply is 5 trillion. Yay, we're in the trillions. If you guys know me, I'm not a fan of the ones that get into the trillion. Even though I have them and we watch them, I don't like it because of what I've seen out of other coins that go into the trillions is that, well, they move like molasses. You get all this hopium that they're going to meet all these prices, but it takes so much to move them up there. It's got to have, look at Cardano, for instance. XRP, even though XRP finally had its day, look how many years it took it to go from 4 cents to where it is now. Or Cardano from 4 cents. Cardano was at 4 cents forever. I watched it. I had a bag of it. Like, oh my God. Really? Because it went 4 years being between 4 and 6 cents, it seems like. It wasn't fun. They move very slow. So that's one of the downsides for something like that. It's not telling me what the circulating supply is. We can see what the all-time high was. It was 16 cents 2 months ago, and now it's down. It's a half price sale on it. So space and time is the micro. Oh, I didn't know that. What? Space and time is the Microsoft-backed blockchain for ZK proven data, powered by proof of SQL, a sub-second ZK coprocessor. Space and time allows smart contracts, AI agents, and on-chain applications to query on-chain and off-chain data at scale. Well, it sounds a little bit more cooler than I anticipated. I want to take a look at the website here, if you don't mind. Huh. Indexer and sub-second ZK coprocessor. That's very nerdy. It's a decentralized replacement for your blockchain indexing service. Okay. So kind of nerdy, has an actual purpose and everything. So that's something that's against it for shooting to the moon right there, because anything that has an actual use case and And legitimacy here in crypto seems to be overlooked for meme coins. It's a sad truth. It's a sad truth. The graph and some other things are some other coins that have some very nerdy use cases. And you already tell me what the market cap is? Fully deleted is 400. That looks interesting. I like that Microsoft back blockchain. That kind of perked my ears up. Keep this one on the radar. You guys remember the graph? Yeah, this thing came out and all-time high was 284 4 years ago. Really? I remember it coming out, and I remember it hanging around 30 cents forever. It's sitting at 9 cents now. Another one that's got like 10.8 billion coins. 10.8 billion. Circulating supply is 9.8, so they've about dumped all of them on everybody's head. And so from that $200 price tag there, and now we're at its valuation at 9 cents. Will it ever get back to that $2? I kind of doubt it. I really kind of doubt it. Not anytime too soon. And they'll have to stay relevant and fight for it to get up there. It's almost got a 1 billion market cap. This is the graph. So 1 billion, huge market cap, and it's at 9 cents. It's at its bottoms. It's at its lows here. But it was one that had a good use case too, right? Indexing protocol and global API aimed at organizing blockchain data, making it easily accessible for GraphQL. So a similar coin, but you can see how it played out overall. So when it goes up, that's the time to take advantage of it on any of those hype spikes, because everybody's going to get bored with it and sell it off, especially as we go into the bear market, which is becoming over in less than a year. Yeah, we'll start getting into definitely the altcoin bear market. Now, Bitcoin might be a little bit of a different story and not as bad, but the altcoins are going to like just give it up, like. And that's sad because we're still seeing them where they haven't even got up to there yet, right? So we got to see some miracles start working on these altcoins soon. There's got to be some money coming in, and it may be. Here's the interesting thing about where the money might be coming in. I want to mention this, it's not always so much about people selling out of Bitcoin and then rolling over into altcoins. That used to be the strategy that we do. That is still a viable strategy. It's just the altcoins haven't been playing ball. But now with the global demand for Bitcoin, that's not so much the issue so much. But so I think, in my personal opinion, the money that you see that be going into altcoins is not because they're taking profits. I want to do something smart and rolling in all these altcoins. No, I think it's more like, oh man, I didn't get to get in. Bitcoin took off without me. I'm sitting on the sidelines with this money. I ain't got no choice but to put it in altcoins, and therefore we see altcoins starting to come up. I think that plays into a lot of what we're looking at. Even recently with the recent spikes, personally. A lot of people did get left out expecting those bigger moves. A lot of people got trying to short Bitcoin, right? 111, 112,000. Well, we ain't there no more. So the weekend, not having the greatest day as far as altcoins, but the hour seems to be trying to do something. Bonk's doing a little something. Pith, you're finally getting up to something. 12 cents. You were at 40. I'm just saying. Little bastard, losing all that, all them tokens. Pith is another one. It's got billions and billions of coins, or is it trillions? I don't even know anymore. Too damn many coins, and that's the effect of it. All right, let's take a look at OPAI. 19 people hanging out. This time slot, 9 o'clock, seems to be all right. What do you guys think about the time slot? I need to come back over to the chat before I go any further. We had some questions and stuff. What happened, chat? We gotta pop it out. Pop it. My chat's not popping. What happened? All right, so I'm having some weird. What the hell are you doing? This can't all be boomer moments. I'm just saying. Some of this is legitimately got to be the computer, not the boomer, not the operator. All right, top chat, live chat. Albie says, obliterate the like, y'all. I agree. That helps these tiny channels to grow. I didn't used to do that when I watched before I got into YouTube. I didn't realize that's what makes the channel happen. If you guys don't hit the like button, then we don't get more people coming in. It's kind of how that works. And when people don't coming in, then I gotta look at this and saying, is this worth my time to be on YouTube for what little will I actually get back out of it? Because I fund this myself. Well, you guys, I get pen funding from you guys, and I appreciate that. I'm not here trying to shill anything other than Tangem wallets. Save your 10% with code DOG. But hitting that like can support the channel a lot. Leaving a little comment. Even participating in the chat, all that helps. And I know it's a lot to ask. I just want to watch a freaking video, man. Why are you making me work for it? And I'm like, well, if we don't get some participation, then the content creators, we just kind of dwindle off and start doing other stuff. That's just how it works. I like the time slot, but get crypto lonely late night. Laws. I was thinking about doing one last night, but then time suddenly got away from me, and I was like, oh, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I like the late night time slots too, but it's definitely easier for me to be more consistent. Abe says Uranus, Neptune, Mercury, etc. in retrograde. Oh yeah, we got Uranus, Neptune too. Yeah, well that's a party. It's bad enough when Mercury does it. If you guys don't know about Mercury in retrograde, I don't know. I'm allergic to it. I've just determined I'm allergic to it because 2 weeks before it happens, my computer glitches. I feel it. I can tell you when it's going to happen before it happens. Just when things start going crazy, I'm like, that's a Mercury moment right there. She's happening, isn't she? 3 rising valleys I see. 3 doors down. 3 stooges. 3 blind mice. 3 companies. 3 rockets. 3 migos. That's funny. The 3 rise. I mean, when I'm looking at all that stuff, I mean, yeah, you got so many patterns that are very similar. You know, the inverted head and shoulders, and as so many things. You could have a series of lower lows and lower highs, and you'd say, well, that's a something too. And then there actually is a 3 rising valleys pattern. And when I first got into pattern, I thought it was all about learning all the different patterns, right? Well, you learn. The OGs told me early on, I didn't want to believe them, man. I mean, you boil it down to the basic shapes, man. Those triangles and channels, and it doesn't matter. Yeah, we can get in here and argue about if it's a shoulder, head and shoulder. Is it a triple bottom? Is it a 3 rising value? A triple bottom? That could be your other situation, which is, you know, you get 3 bottoms roughly right around the same area. It doesn't matter. You still got the measure moves and everything also work for the channel ideas and the triangles or whatever. Not that the triangles need to be a flag to the upside all the time, but you can condense all these things to a basic shape, and it kind of works out. So patterns are good, and I like them, and that was the first thing that worked for me in the patterns and the measure moves, and I still do that. But I've since then learned some other things that help me more, and then I've got to say, the moving averages help me track momentum. And the mostly the fibs. The fibs have just opened up a whole new realm to me, as far as even in a predictive sense of the probabilities or possibilities of realistic areas that we can go and hit. And that's been a game changer for me. That was my holy grail to go out there and search for, and I finally found not all of it, but a lot of it, to where I understand it, to get a grasp of something that works for me, you know, on a good basis. And we don't know where price is going to go, but we can get some very good educated guesses with the more data that we have, and the more data that we have a system that can process it and do it, you know, fairly accurately. Even the simple trend lines tell us a lot. It tells us, hey man, there's a chance to come up and touch the top of this little booger wherever price, and you know, you look at price, go straight up, and we can hit that. That's crazy. Add a little trajectory to it with some fib levels, and it kind of suggests you can almost put time It doesn't mean it happens, but it can give you a guesstimation of about when we might expect to hit that. And according to this, you know, these two cross over here about September 11th. Oh my God! Or the 8th. But somewhere, so we can kind of guesstimate that unless we get a big strong move, if we just continue on our little trajectory here, somewhere in end of August to early September, we could actually be up here at $140,000 on Bitcoin. That's just a generalization. Something to hope for, to wish for, something, a guide. We're getting our binoculars on. We're trying to see what the terrain looks like ahead, and that's a that's not be what it is. Now that rocky road might actually be a tar pit. I don't know. We won't know until we get closer and see it. But right now, it looks like there's a path forward to 140,000. Crazy as it seems right now. Man, we made a higher high over here. That is so cool. We made this little higher high, came back, and then we made a bigger higher high, and that's very cool. Since I got you here, Bitcoin, and I've got to pull up my little fibs and kind of get our next little resistance area. We right at, we already did this. Silly me. This is where we got our 119 target. Right at 119. It's a 272 area, so that tells me it's pivot time. It's pullback time. We've got a high here, a higher there, a higher high there. Looking over here for some divergence ideas on the RSI, because that can be a clue that this one needs to do something here. We have a high and a lower high, so we got our divergence there saying you need to do a pullback of some kind, even if it's just a little one. And what can happen at these great little pivot points, AB equals CD, even though it's bearish and it should be a pivot reversal, under certain conditions, it can just come back a little bit and say, well, screw you, I want to keep on going. My setups, they can, so I'm watching for those signs that you're going to say, screw you, road dog, I'm not reversing, I'm going. It happens a lot with these, and I like it. I'm just talking about everything being all kind of silly. Let's get over to another coin that you guys mentioned. How about OPAI? Did we look at that one? OPAI? Opium. Opium. What the hell? I'm on it's because I'm on a dumbass exchange. Not dumbass. Poloniex. They just don't have a lot of volume. They used to be very popular in the day, but then I forgot what happened. They made some stupid rules because they were afraid of SEC and Gary Gensler or whatever, and then they got all chicken crap and not popular anymore. OP. And KCEX has it. It's also on, looks like it's a Solana coin there, but a few exchanges do have it too. Let's look and see what the exchanges have. Higher highs and higher lows, except for this little anomaly there. So we're trying to catch up with that. What gets wicked often gets candlestick, so that's an argument that we might come up to a penny, especially if they're just starting out. Don't know anything about the tokenomics. She's testing right here. Oh, that's a cool area. All right, so if we continue up, oh my gosh, am I actually going to say this? Well, because a cup and handle, it might be. It doesn't really fit my definitions of a cup and handle. Maybe because I look for them to come up a little bit more level for that, but hey, a lot of people will see this, and it might, maybe it is, but the candle bodies, maybe it's level enough, maybe a cup and handle. The biggest thing is that price is rising up into it. Cup and handles are continuation patterns, therefore we look for them price to come up into it so that we can look for price to exit out of it in the right direction. You don't get that from most of your cup and handle preachers out here. They just see something, they just see a shape and they're saying cup and handle to the upside. And I don't know, I've been harping on that for years, but I see so many people do it nowadays. I'm just like, screw it, figure it out yourself, guys. If it doesn't work out for you, well, now you know why. Well, no, now you don't know why. You'll never figure out why it doesn't work. So lower high, we got to make sure we get a higher low here. There's that 236 fib. It's got a good chance to hold, and if it does hold, I mean, really, the next target's 0.0052, 0.0064. I would look in these areas, 0.5, 615 fib areas. That would be some nice gains. If it's going to do something, it needs to break out of this little box that it's in right here and double up. Personally, my take as far as trend lines go is this bottom here and that bottom there. And that tells me, oops, she could come all the way back down here. Now that you may not see if you're sitting here looking at, oh, look, it's a flag to the upside. And you can do that. You can put it definitely into the triangle pennant shape. You can. More of a symmetrical triangle, and I don't trust them little bastards as far as I can throw them. So cup and handle, symmetrical triangles. Look, all putting those things together, trying to get, is it going to break to the upside? You can try to piece that together. Maybe you'll have luck with it. My biggest compelling thing would be this area right here. If we can still hold that, not come below here and have to come back in this area, we got a good chance. So you get some different takes on OPAM. But that's the biggest thing I'm looking for is this area. If it can get out of this zone, get here, then we can start coming up to these areas, 0.005, which is almost a double up there. Take a look at NKN. I'm doing a lot of these on the daily. And honestly, I think you get the most info. I think you get the best insight on those bigger time frames. They look boring as hell, and how can you figure out anything? The smaller ones are just going to help you confirm stuff, but the big ones are going to tell you what's going on. Not much going on here in the 4 hours. It's trying to figure out what it's trying to do there. Am I going to stay or am I going to lose it? And if she does lose it, then I'm looking down here. Back to 1/10 of a penny. Which would be about a little over about 50 or 60% haircut. Don't want to see that happen. Sam says, after the cup and handle comes the slap and tickle. That's funny. That was good. That's good. That's good. I like that. That's funny. What was that? I lost that. Luke L, if it sounds too fancy, then it's all talk. I can see that, yeah. If there's too many too many big words and things, that impressive sounding words or terminology, I see a lot of people. I see some of the gurus, they'll get them. I don't know if they get them into a corner or something. Hey, it could happen to all of us. I don't know, but sometimes I see them get in an area that they're trying to make themselves sound like they know a lot more than they do to save face or to keep that. Make sure that it looks like they got a suit on, like they deserve to be wearing that suit. Not that I'm pointing fingers at too many people. Avi says, could you look at when? Oh, when would you like to look at when? I got dad jokes all day long. You know, I haven't been in win in a minute. I'm on the 4 hour, and it looks like we looked at it over here. No, that was a lackluster breakout. She did good. Possible another double bottom situation going on. You know, the weird thing is, when you come down and you do these little curves, these scallops is what they're called. When you got all this going on, and then you're starting to come up. Most of the time that I've ever seen this happen, and you'd hope that it doesn't, but you end up getting the butt crack and another butt cheek out of it, and that's the only way I know to describe it, where it can definitely sink into the people's head. Look over there. That'll stick in your brain. All right, so, and the sad thing, then it goes through accumulation, which gets slow. But usually on the second buck cheek, a lot of times, rather than it being so symmetrical and just like this one over here and all nice and kind of like that, we get a sloppy butt cheek, and it can start pulling up a little quicker. So we're not far, I don't think, some of these coins are doing some of these patterns down here. But when this is happening, nobody wants to talk about this, or nobody wants to entertain the thought of this being the next logical thing to happen. It's just like, and if you mention it, it's kind of like, nobody wants to hear it. It's like, I'm clicking off. But this is the next logical thing that so often happens. And it's a good thing if you're patient and you can accumulate it, because this is what's happening. This is where all the people that are trying to make a big move, any of the bigger money, this is where they're slowly trying to accumulate. That's just how the game works, and that's where the bigger money makes all their big gains. So we got a butt crack over here, is what I call it, and basically we just got this big ass channel. And the cool thing about it is that there's a measure move on that. So it confirms a big ass double bottom pattern at some point, whether it's a pretty one or an ugly one. And then if it confirms it, and once we finally get past that level, you got another measure move, and that's where to me, I think that's the sweet ass moves, because from going from here up to there, 100, look at that, 160% gains, moonbag it, and then it goes up another to 200%, 391% from where we are now up to the potential target area right here. And this is what I do if I'm looking for any kind of setups here at the bottom. I want to see if they got any kind of potential, right? Is it worth being in? And we can even pull our fibs over here, and we see that measure move also takes us up here close to that 618. So if you're patient with Win and hold it for a little longer time, $100 put in on that could turn into $500 by the time that we come up to where we were in December, not even at its high in December, right, or November, because it did a lot better. And that's just still from where we've been over the past year. She's down this far. I mean, consider it here to back up to where we were and a little over a year ago. That's 20x, 22,000%. From where we were there a year ago, this coin is 96% discount per Win. It's a meme coin. It's one of the earlier meme coins that was taken off on Solana, so it's got a community. I think it's got potential as far as a meme coin play goes. I mean, if you're going to look at a meme coin, I think you're better off getting in the ones that have established communities. The ones that have kind of fallen out of grace or something and might have a little bit of a comeback here, because there's always going to be the new ones for whatever reason, and they'll go through. But I think this one can at least. Oh, sweet! That's our 236 area right there. So for Win, 0.000697 area. That should be about a, that's pretty good from where we are now. Just to get up to the butt crack, 136%. I would look for at least come up here to, this point, 0.00016 area. Somewhere through there, that's at least 5x. I could see that. I like the bottom pattern here, and usually after you get that, we could see a nice little move up. So I can see us coming back at least to these areas, if not higher. Now, at some point, after all the regulations been going through, and we can shut up Elizabeth Warren and get her out of the office or whatever, and keep her from yapping and trying to run that choke point 3.0 or whatever she's trying to do. As we're getting more adoption into crypto, we may see 2026 in the first quarter of 2026 be kind of good for altcoins. It may be they may usually you'll have Bitcoin go up and top out, and then historically it's been about a month later, 4 to 6 weeks later, is when you start seeing all the other altcoins, especially it trickles down to the smaller ones, where they start running. So you got a good 4 to 6 weeks afterward where the altcoin season happens. That may be running into 2026, into spring of 2026, early spring, maybe. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Just throwing some ideas out there, because that's what we do. We don't, rather than going blind without any kind of plan. I don't know what's going on day to day. We can kind of see the writing on the wall that's a scenario to keep our eyes open for. So when on the daily, I kind of like it on the daily. Come down to the 4 hour. Kind of look at these 5 moving averages over here. These 5 moving averages tell me, there's technically 8 of them. Moving averages tell me a lot here, and it's suggesting we can come back over here to this area. So this one, in my personal opinion, weren't you in 786? Oh, even a little bit. Oh, you almost went to 886. She's at a good little area. I mean, if you're going to bottom feed, this is where you'd bottom feed. If you want to build a little bag, this is a cheap place to build a bag. That's what I can get from here. Gosh darn it, makes me kind of. I'm not in win. You might see me go over here. I'm going to take a little. I got something to take a nibble of win with. I've got some Solana. Yeah, because I sold some of that. I'm going to take a little nibble of some win. Not much. I'm just going to put in. I'll probably put in about $30. Just nibble. $30. We'll see how it does. Depends on how much I want to nibble in. I might build up just a small couple $100 bag here and see if we can get that 500% gain off of it. I might build it up a little bit more. I don't know. Depends on if I got something else to sell. So I think I'm going to. Ooh, that didn't work out too good. So I go to my Phantom wallet when I'm doing this. I don't have an exchange I'd buy this from. And let's see, what is 0.2 Sol, $32? Okay, so I'm putting 0.2 Solana in it, $32, yeah. Just to get a little nibble at this juicy price is 786 fib. I've got no trigger. There's nothing doing that. This is not a trade that I'm getting ready to, with a target to sell it up here at this level. This is me nibbling like a little DCA investment, because that's a good way to play these double bottoms. Just nibble a position while we're still under this red line, and then when we get above the red line, the fun starts happening. That's how I play it. Doesn't mean you have to play it that way, but that's what I've learned. Take a look at mine. 23 people. Now we're starting to get the numbers we've seen before. We've been in here 1:11, an hour and 11 minutes, 9:37 p.m. Vinecoin, take a look at you over where? Kraken, maybe? Kraken, where else are you? KuCoin? KuCoin's cool. I used to love KuCoin until they booted us off because we're Americans. You stupid American. Same situation with Vine, double bottom scenario. Man, I'm just telling you, if you're going to take a chance on them, now how well that they will do, I don't know, but we at least got the hope that it will come back up here to the top of the butt crack. And that's at 0.09. And if it does that, that's a 3x. Not bad. And if it gets up there and goes higher, just like what we saw, what was it we were looking at that I just pummeled into? Win. Was it Win? So there's a lot of these coins that are doing something very similar price action wise. Those are some interesting ones to look at. So you guys are giving me some things I like. I like the setups down here. Some people do not. Some people are like, I wouldn't touch that with your penis. My bad. I wouldn't touch that with your coins or your money. I don't know where they come from. I do know where it comes from, but so a major move, because if it were to come up here. And it wouldn't look like that, I'm sure. It would look ugly. And then probably another ugly move that would take us up there. So I think it's got potential. What would that look like profit-wise from here? At 3.5 cents. Ooh, 156%. And 350% up to that target for just a little bit of like a midterm hold, I guess you would say. Something you might be willing to hold for as long as it takes to get up there. Like, could be a month, might be a month and a half, might be September before we see it up there. But unless you're trying to just jump in and jump out on every little thing, taking 3% a day or whatever the thing is, $100 could turn into $400 over the next few months if you're just patient with it. And there's a lot of movements that you can do along the way too. You can take partial profits. It'll have its ups and downs, and you can work on building that bag. That's what I do with my smart margin. I love these things around here with my smart margin because right now I've taken hits and watched my bag shrink over the past year, and now I'm finally starting to see, oh, they're starting to grow up again. They're slowly starting to grow, and if I play this right, I grow those bags bigger while it's under this particular fib area or these certain areas. Work on building them here, and then I'll start slacking off on building them and letting them ride, and then when they start coming up these areas, then I've got bigger bags to take profit on, and then pull backs and look at where adding into them, selling. But down through here is the juiciest place, the easiest place to build your bags because it's cheap, and you go up and you go down, you go up and you go down, just watch, rinse, and repeat, just slowly building. And it's a process. It takes some work and a lot of sales and a lot of buy orders and limit orders. But as it zigzags and zigzags, the more it comes up through here, the bigger my bags are growing. And I like that. And the only downside is, well, if the market dumps and then we come back down here and then I got, oh crap. No drawdown, please. That sucks. Why am I in altcoins? That's the sucky part. But on the right side of the trend, you can see some quick growth. All right, let's take a look at Doge. Doge on, I guess mine. Well, MEXC is good. It's the futures. Okay, we've been here before, so we've already done it. Another butt crack, or not a butt crack, but another bottom formation here with a butt crack. The worst part, hopefully the worst part is behind us, because I remember when we were going all through all this stuff in May, and I'm like, this does not look, it would suck to come down and we go through another butt crack. And you probably heard me say that about a couple of coins and things like, this is what's going to suck if it looks good now. And you know, this is the part of the game where a lot of people are saying, but it's a flag to the upside. So many times, but you also got your little 3 humps and then a dump, little condensed Elliott wave theory there. Harmonic W. Okay, we could get into all this little stuff, but basically the bad stuff is kind of out of the way now. Now we can start looking at it's been out of the way. It's about 15-16 cents. That was the sweet spot to get in. A lot of people just don't want to do it down there. And I don't know, that's I just find that is really interesting, because everybody has a different risk tolerance. And where I'm sitting here and I'm getting a stiffy when I see things hit a 786 or an 886, I'm just like, oh my god. You think so sexy? You're so hot. You're so hot. A lot of people are looking at that like, oh my god, this thing is getting ready to go to zero. I would never touch it. I gotta wait for confirmation. I gotta see something. You gotta show me something. And I'm like, it's showing me right now. It's wanting to. She's and if I look for these areas, and you start out looking at this one and you find, oh wow, we got a surprise dip down here, just knowing that it could happen. I look at what's bottoming formations are here, and some people would say there's a Adam and Eve bottom or triple bottom or however. It is a bottoming formations that's going on there. They can come in various different shapes. You'll be looking at the trend lines and those patterns. These little guys here, local patterns. The megaphones, breakout. There's all these little things that start adding up down here that say, listen to some, if you didn't get in here, you could have got in here. Could have got, there's all these little places to get in. So many ideas to get in and get in and get in. You just got to be patient when you're buying the bottoms. Kind of like when you're trying to short the tops. It takes some patience. for me to do a short up here at these areas, and it comes down here, and when it comes coming up here and threatens to stop you out or may even stop you out, it can work on you, right? It's the same thing with the bottoms, man. You got to be patient with those and trust in what you got. We got a higher low end. We're at a double bottom. Just got to give it some time to work its magic. And then when it starts doing its thing, and it takes time, and that's why the swing traders are making, I mean, they do better. That's what the legends have said, man. The scalpers and day traders, I mean, they can make some gains and post about it, and you can even see the things. Look, 500% gains. Well, that was on the stop loss. That was only like maybe a $5 loss or a $50 loss. Maybe they made some gains, but it's not as big as what you're thinking when you see it. The bigger gains are coming from these longer term trades, man. These midterm holds, these swing trades. That's where your bigger gains are coming from, and it just takes a little time. It just takes a little time, a little patience, but a bigger payday. And sometimes patience will wear you down. Coming right back up here, man. 67% gains out of Doge. If we can get up to around 24, 25 cents, it looks like we're trying to. I'm talking a little bit too much. I'm not running through these very quickly at all. I pulled my fibs down from high to low. We'll gauge it. We're above their 236, looking great. Ooh, rejected off 618. That's to be expected. She's just consolidating. I believe we're going to see 23, 24 cents pretty soon, and then hopefully before. Now, one of the things that's been holding true, and I mention this every chance that I get, is that when the OG plays is to watch Dogecoin as the signal for these big moves out of Bitcoin. So if we start seeing Dogecoin starting to get real strong here and start doing some stuff, chances are Bitcoin might be following it right around the corner. It's crazy, but that's just kind of how it works. We'll start seeing some interest, new money coming in, looking at meme coins and everything, and then eventually I guess they'd start rolling over to Bitcoin too. I don't have a great explanation for it. I just know it's a good indicator for when, in the past, for when Bitcoin's going to take off. You normally see Doge being a leader first. That happens more than not. So take a look at Pingu, Pudgy Penguins. And Binance has got it. Is that a good chart? Nice, Pudgy. You broke the trend line. Oh, ooh. You broke above our 236. Okay, so you hear me talk about this 236. I put it on there and say we need to go up and touch it. That's fine. That's the one to be holding out for. I said that down here too, and it was. And then we even went past it, which is what we need to do. Would I have been pissed if it got rejected there? No, I would have expected that to be a good place for it to get rejected. But am I pissed because it goes above it? Hell no. That means that we're breaking out of this area. That means under this 2 cent area was the juicy place to buy Pingu. And now we're getting ready to run to the 3 cent area. Or should be, could be, would be, if things work out. I want to clear this out and redraw all this, get rid of all this stuff. Now we're starting to look kind of nice and juicy. Pull a couple of fibs over here. I'm going to pull it from this high area. Then I'm going to move it over here and take a bigger measurement. Right now we're pointing that 0.5 fib corresponds with this area over here, support resistance flip. So we are going to take that one. I'm going to draw it all the way over there, because the action that's happening over here at that fib level is telling me, well, that action will probably have a reaction for the current level, right? What did he just say? Just look to the left, and if there's something there, that fib will probably have some relevance for you. So we do need to get above that one, that 2.5 cent area. And maybe it will, or maybe it will have to get a little bit more of a pullback there. I like to draw out my trend lines and see what we got. We got a deviation. There's another one, and then you went off of it again. I'm seeing the first possible signs of a parabolic move, so let's see if we need to come back and test that trend line. That might happen. That could be around 2 cents. That could happen. Pullbacks, part of life here. Get cheaper, half a penny cheaper, and then start going up to some bigger targets there. The next one we'll be looking for is 3 cent. All right, now we're going to take a look at the bigger picture over here. Let's kind of point us in at close to 4 cents. Let's go with this 4.4. So short term, see us getting to 2.5 and then probably 3, but 4.4 for a little bit of a bigger idea to be retesting this area right over here, just right below it, where we were in January. It's doable. That's doable. So Pingu, from where we are now up to that area, be about another 92%. And we'll see to our first, the main target up here, about 22.5 cents, be another 30%. So Pingu is, she's kind of, you know, she's already got her gains up there. Guess I should turn on my other indicators and stuff here and see what they say. Moving averages look all good and everything. Tighten up my trend line here and then move it up on a channel idea. And so a retest of this channel top and this trend line, a lot of these things are coming together, suggesting that, you know, this 2 cent area might be retested. It may go up to 25 first and then come back down, or 2.5 first and come back down. So it tells me we might be doing some stuff kind of like that, maybe. I'm cool with that idea. Pingu right now, she's so taking profits over here a little bit would be cool. But imagine that, what if it does go up that little 10% extra and then she comes down a little bit, well, they have a 20% drop. And then we start looking for a 50% gain from that area. So there's several different plays that might have some traction there. My biggest thing here on the 4 hour is that we broke a trend line, so I would be looking for a possible double top scenario, come up here at 2.5 and then a little bit more of a pullback. Let's see if that happens. Solana, she was at 160 something, 161 right now. That looks nice. Got a trend line here on the 4 hour. Moving averages look healthy enough. They look promising. They've just started flipping, and they flipped bullish, and that's what we've been tracking over the past few months, and it's finally here, and now they're starting to show a little bit more strength. As far as any kind of bottoming patterns and stuff like that, a lot of people will be looking at inverted head and shoulders here. And yeah, that's there. It's kind of weird. You'd have to look at, I would see it from a shoulder, and this would be the head, and that'd be a shoulder, and you got a nice solid neckline that we retested. That's how I would look at that, as a local pattern. And there's actually several different patterns here, several different ways that you could look at it, but that measure move would get you up here to $192. That's pretty cool. And then now I would more likely look at this rather than trying to just find that. I'd be looking at the overall thing, and this is how I would do it. I would see this as for a local pattern, as more of a channel, or even a megaphone, which is a broadening channel. You could see either way is correct. 72% chance that this pattern breaks to the upside. And the measure move is not too far off from what we had. Put it at the breakout technically, even though it came down through there. And it takes us up about 186 for that idea. And you can see this also corresponds here with that and here with that. Just happens to do that. So I like that for this measure move. From the top of this to the bottom of that. Also from the bottom of this to the top of that lines up pretty nice. And just put it at the actual breakout. Sometimes I put it at the retest just to see what happens. And sometimes you get hits, or you see some kind of little pivot at both points sometimes. It's kind of interesting. So there's not a total, you can't screw it up totally. Measure moves just give you a good idea of where it can go and pivot. I take that in consideration with my fibs and everything. So we got two things, 186 and 191 for two different measure moves from where we can go from here on Solana. Not bad. So I think a lot of the little trading groups would have this into a flag to the upside. That's kind of there's some analyst out there that seems to be their favorite thing is to put it in some kind of flag to the upside. And like we talk about, it can work sometimes, but a lot of times they don't always work. there's some things that we kind of need to keep in mind. This one might have a chance, until it breaks that trend line. I don't really like that idea. I would actually look at it more like this if I was trying to do it. And you do see that a lot here on YouTube, and that's just a local pattern on the 4 hour. See if it works out or whatever. I think it's got a good chance to touch the bottom of the trend line. Somewhere around 156, maybe. Doesn't even have to go down there. 360 moving average is down there. That will probably be retested. What we got over here? That's all right. Still a chance it could even come back down to the 200, which is right dab in the middle of everything where we broke out of. For yet another retest, about 150. It could. It looks like she wants to go with this green candle and maybe give us a surprise pump here. Maybe. Okay, I'll entertain that idea. I just don't I don't see it solid just yet. So we'll see if she wants to break out now. I think it's a little bit too early, or kind of zigzag and then try to go for a breakout. RSI looks kind of promising here on the 1 hour. I will cheer you on, Solana, if you want to go higher. I'll also buy you if you go a little bit cheaper. Moving averages look good. So I think Solana looks a little bit promising. Ethereum, I guess we'll just go with the crypto.com. I don't have any volume on this one, so. Well, look, it's another flag to the upside on the 1 hour. Sometimes when I see some other, and I don't mean to bitch too much, I'm trying not to, but it just seems like there's things are presented in a way that seems very overconfident, like without explanation why, like look, cup and handle. So and I just wonder, for the new people coming in at this point, I'm wondering, do they even know what that means? I mean, okay, well, so what's so special about it? I never hear about what's so special about. Oh, it's a flag to the upside. What's so special? What makes that so special? I try to get into that, and I try to put and warnings and invalidation points behind that, but it just seems like sometimes it just like people are just being taught it made this shape, so jump in, and that's really not how it works. That's not how it works. Nice trend line there. Okay, well, you're not really relevant right at the moment. Try the bottom trend line here. I like that. We're a little bit far away from it. I like to buy when we're close to it if I'm looking at that idea. And I would make an argument that, hey man, we're kind of smack dab in the middle. I don't really like buying in the middles. But do an idea like that, you can kind of see, yeah, we're in the middle of that channel. It might go up. It could also, this could be its higher high here and working a higher low right back down here where all these moving averages are hanging out. Around 26.5. That sounds bearish when I say it, doesn't it? It's doing better. We're making higher highs and higher lows. That's the important thing. We'll go from high to low and see if you hit my little magic pivot point. And you got our 113. There might be a possibility. Well, let me see if I can get a little bit more accurate with this idea. Oh, really? Well, you could be interesting. Okay, we got a 0.5 retracement there, and those can have some surprising results. Actually, I'm going to put up a target here, one that we can put on a radar for it. That's at 36,000. Moon boys will love that since we're sitting just below 3,000 right now. So we'll put that idea out there. And then the one that makes everybody want to click off the channel is I put this note here about 2685. Like, no, there's no way it's going back down there. It sucks. It could. Very, very seriously could come down here before it ever gets up there. Can you see a scenario where it might come back down here and you know, play here and then start working its way up to there? It could be that way. I don't know how she gets there. I just got levels that tell me, hey man, there's a good possibility that this upper level will be hit. I don't know how it's going to get there. I don't know the path. I just know the end spot that where we could have a certain mathematical probability to possibly get there. Okay. There's still some other little juicy places that we could look for here. For are we on Ethereum? Hell to the L. We just got rejected of our 618, so that's kind of normal. 3051. All right, so 35. Oh, you're smack dab right in that little juicy spot. Wow, that didn't work. That didn't work either. I'm trying to write here, but it's not letting me do it. This is a TP zone. Well, write it out there. Are you too big? It may be too big. Oh, okay, there we go. So I got 36, and that's a good take profit zone for Ethereum. So if we're looking for something, we are making higher highs, higher lows. Just got out of a higher low. Just made our higher high. So a higher low may be coming, or it may go ahead and go up to 35 and then come down. I don't know. We got those two situations. That's what I'd look for. If she wants to do the flag to the upside and come up, I would be looking at some serious rejection here about 35. And then maybe we come back down to 33,000 and go up that way. Several different ways that can play out. I don't know. I like 3652. It's going to be a while before we get there. That's on the daily. What's the 4 hour look like? That looks like a flag to the upside. You guys ever you're tired? Maybe with too many people, including myself, saying flag to the upside. Maybe we just ought to quit saying it. It looks like a very nice little possible pennant. And as long as it does not, you know, break certain trend lines, which for this one would be here for me, I would try to follow this basic trend line that we got here. If I see that flag idea go beyond that, then for me it's like no, I don't give a dang about the 21 moving average or whatever. I mean, I do, but not in the way that it is taught in other ways. If I see a price lose at 21, or if I see another moving average cross bearishly over that 21, then flags more than likely that idea is shot. Flags are something that kind of happen quick, and if they start hanging around too much, then it's a distribution or a reaccumulation, or normally a distribution, in my personal opinion. And if it doesn't start happening kind of quick and at certain, you know, that your areas of resistance, like, you know, we got a trend line here, then more than likely it's doing something else. I think I went over everything. Let's go back to the chat here. Strega says, glad I got rid of all my Pingu. Havenpeck says, Altcoin. I saw that one's having a good day. So we looked at this one last night, and I did not get in on this one. Did I? I don't think I did. I didn't. Wow, look at you. Where is the oh, I think we had it over here. Yeah, we had it over here. It's a Solana. I didn't get any. I don't think I got any last night. Unless I did it on stream, I didn't do it. I don't think I did. I don't remember seeing any in there. I think, oh, I just had you, what was that? Anyway. And so we had this target set right here from last night, because I was looking. I said, if it bounces here and it gets above this area, you probably want to be on that train. And that target was, well, it's where we're currently having resistance. So what do you think about those targets? I mean, it wasn't a willy-nilly target. That was an AB equals CD move. It played out. So we should get a little bit more of a pullback here. And if I had to guess, if she still wants to be bullish, and I think she still can be because it's new and it's been making higher highs and higher lows. So now we want to look for it to come back and pretty much test the area right over here. I want to draw this as a zone because it'll basically be, it can be, I'm looking for it to be between these two areas. Let me see if I can tighten that up. So for a pullback, I'm looking between these two guys. And then from there can be another nice move to the upside. Let me go ahead and grab these. So it's what, 10.7 cents and 9.8 cents in those areas. That'd be a good place to find an entry there. Let me zoom out on this one. This is a 15, oh, we're on the 15 minute. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. This is what it looks like. And we were talking last night about it. It looks like it's trying to do, you know, it's trying to go parabolic. We're getting all these little deviations from these trend lines, and now we got another one just popping off here. Right there, so that we got three little, and this one can take us up to 1680 right here. So it already met our little measure move. Let me go back to the 15 minute now. So let me put that over here. Do we get the little things? You know, sometimes they have these little things where it lets me type things out. Like the text box. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. All right, so I'm calling nailed it on this because that was our target measure move, and it came up, and I don't see how you can say that we hit it like 3, 4, 5 times. It's a pivot area, so she's bumping her head there. Her bumping her head there so many times made me think it wants to try to go higher, so yay! And this, when things work out the way they're supposed to, this is kind of like what we see when we do the little setups. And at the time, they may not look like they're going to do it. And this one was confusing because the only clue that I had was it had a higher high here. That's the only clue that I had. Otherwise, I was looking, it looked like it could be a double top. And I think we even point out if it doesn't, if it loses these areas, we're looking for it down here. I think I remember saying that, but I kept reiterating, if it catches and it goes above here, it can be something nice, and it can still be. So I'm glad that worked out. I'm glad the measure move came into play there, and we still do have that 1680. And from here to there, so another 40%, not bad. So if we do lose this and need to chill out, you know, we might see 10.7, 9.8. I got to take a picture of this, copy that, put it over into the Telegram vanity wall. Did we do a trade setup on that one last night? We did Chill Guy, we did Bank. I don't think I put it out there. There's one that Brackish got. He nailed one. And that's just a curl. So the 6-1 came up and nailed it. I like to see that. I like to see that. So you guys can put this stuff to the test and you see that it works. And letting this stuff help you make money. I like to see it when you guys nail it too. So I'm trying to go to the where you at, Vanity Wall here? Oh, here was Pingu, and I think that was from last night where we kind of went a little bit above it. But I'm going to claim it anyway. But this one definitely is a good nailed it. What the hell were we looking at? Oh my God, your memory sucks. Tell me it's not that bad. Altcoin. All right, so we nailed it. Nailed our target and got the reaction that we would hope for there. And maybe she's going to give us something a little bit more there. 72% chance this, Ave. Ave says we need a Fibonacci emoji for members. A Fibonacci emoji. Wonder what that would look like. Put that right up here so that we can see it. DOZ says thinking of buying some Pingu. Great TA. Thanks for okay. Pingu did look interesting. I can't remember now. I have short-term memory loss. We were talking about it. Right. Well, here are the 4 hour. Let me look at Pingu. I'm looking at these crosses over here on the moving average. Let's see, 5 cross. Okay, 5 cross. Okay, yeah, I still think there's the chance that she might go up a little bit more, but it might come down a little bit cheaper there. This would really be the good spot if she can get down there again. I think you just gotta be patient with it. Right now, things are still looking. How are you looking on the hour over here? Still about the same. Total 3 is starting to give us a little something here, and I think going into tomorrow night and tomorrow during the day, usually on Sunday evenings, we sometimes we see a good little pickup in the altcoins. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like that. A little bit more coming in. Oh crap! Did I do that? An hour and 46. Well, we have not made this show any shorter, have we? 4 hours looking interesting here. We got a green candle instead of a red one, so that's good. I'm hoping that they give us a little something. There was an idea where we lost that parabolic idea, so we lost that. Did we lose the trend line? No, we still got the trend line, or one of them. Ooh, flirting with this one right here. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, I don't know if you guys have seen what I did there, but we had this trend line that we started with. And then we have a secondary one, and then a third one, right? Tertiary. I wanted to use that word. That's one of those smart sounding words. It just means third. I'm actually stealing it from art class. Tertiary colors. Anyway, that was the third one, and then we lost it and kind of said, well, something needs to happen. That's when we started our more of a correction. That's when the parabolic move, or the big strong actual move, is over. Just this leg. Doesn't mean that there can't be more, but it means correction. So probably 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however you want to count it. ABC correction. Elliot, do you agree? It's kind of weird looking, but you count it weird anyway. You got something else going on. Okay, you're on the 4, and then we go up for a 5. Okay, yeah, I'm cool with that too. Bottom of the trend line here, and yeah, let's see if we can come up. It looks like tomorrow might be a more promising day for altcoins. So tomorrow into Monday, maybe we'll see them come back up a little bit. I don't know if they're going to take off. I don't know that. It could be, what we might be looking at is some kind of double bottom. This is a 3 wave here. That means a 4 wave or 5 wave could be a double top, okay? Just like what we got right here. Or it could go higher. We don't know. That would be awesome. Let's see what we do here. It's got a little bit of red there. I'm looking on the Ichimoku cloud. That could be a sign of some sideways crap coming. I like how it's holding this though. Total 3. So best guess that I can see here, it looks like that over the next few hours in the morning, wee morning hours into tomorrow morning, it could probably be a pretty decent day. Don't know if we'll get a breakout. That would be nice if we can get some kind of breakout and come up here, make a higher high. That could be promising. And hopefully we'll get a little bit more. I just recommend that when it comes to your altcoins, we need to zoom out a little bit. Zoom out on the altcoins. We are at an area to take profits. I'm just saying. We come back up here to 956 billion, where we've been before and got rejected twice back in May, and then it came down. Probably not a bad place to make sure you're getting paid a little bit. Okay, on whatever bags that you're in. Unless you just want to like riding the roller coaster down again. I don't really like riding it down at all. I'm kind of tired of it. I've done enough roller coaster riding through all this. Even when I was trying my best not to, I still got caught up in some roller coaster riding. So we've not really made our higher high. We just came up and double tapped it. So that's what we got to see out of altcoins. We got to see her either go up above here or just go ahead and come down and do some kind of little bit of a pullback and then go up. I don't know what it's going to do right now. It looks hopeful that it may want to break through and go up to 1 trillion. That's the real thing we're looking for. That's what I've been looking for a while. And we came out of this guy, went up, retest, and now we need to make a higher high. And hopefully over the next couple of days is when we need to see it. If we don't see it over tomorrow, Monday, probably not happening this week, but hopefully it will. So it's a good play. That means a good time to if we go back up a little bit tomorrow and you see, hey man, I'm in some profit, get, peel off a little bit. If worse comes to worse and she wants to go back up and keep going, well, you still got skin in the game, and you got some dry powder to come back on the retest, because more than likely there will be a retest of it. And then you can add to your bags again then and take advantage up. You're not losing anything. You're just kind of safeguarding, locking it in, just so in case it does come back down, altcoins come back down for a few weeks. If it does, then you got some of that juicy dry powder to build those bags, and you can't build bags unless you're taking profit and then rolling it back in. That's just how it works. Could this be a cup and handle to the upside? I ain't got no handle yet, baby, but it could be. It could be making. I don't think so. It's not roundy enough for me, but a lot of people will be looking at that idea, I'm sure. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. 17 people. I'm going to go ahead and take our final look at Bitcoin here on the little 6-minute time frame. Let me look at it over here. Just getting a little bit of a pullback. 117,400. We've just been sideways mostly, just hanging out through here. And kind of sucks for, it doesn't really suck for Bitcoin. It really doesn't. $117,000 Bitcoin. When we were, it's $100,000 more than what it was when we were at its bottom. Pretty gosh darn impressive. When it was at its bottom, everybody says, no, I'm going to go in altcoins. Screw Bitcoin. It's a beaver coin. What's it going to do? 2x, 3x? Yeah, suck. Bitcoin suck. I want altcoins. Bitcoin was truly the answer then. Thank God I had enough sense to recognize that back then. But going sideways, 6-minute. I hope and pray it is a flag to the upside. I just don't have a whole lot of faith in flags to the upside. If it is, I ain't going to bitch and complain about it. But if it ain't, I'll just say, well, I'm not surprised. Okay, accumulation up through here. 6-minute, just still looks sideways. It could easily come back down to 115.6. If it does, bring altcoins back with it a little bit, but bounce from there, we could be just fine. So it's just watch and wait on the weekends. How they set us up for what they're going to do on Monday and Tuesday. And so if they start pumping us up tomorrow night, this the same old game. They're just trying to reel us in so that they can pull some shenanigans on us at some point. Usually how that works. Just be cautious. Taking profits, getting paid a little bit, try not to chase and add to your bags while it's going up. Wait till she pulls back. Seems to be what works the best in this market. Thanks for hanging out, guys. We go to the end screen, and I'll be back again tomorrow night. Bring your coins, I'll bring some. We'll take a look at the market again, see if we can find any good things to get into or get out of, or just monitor what we're already in and all that good stuff. But it's coming. It's coming, guys. End screen. Do you think it's buy the rumor, sell the news? House announces week of July 14th as crypto week. That's a good question. Now I don't have anything on the charts that are giving me these dates, but this is just my intuition, which sometimes it's on spot and sometimes it's not. But I'm looking at the 17th through the 23rd as being some days to look for some warning signs. My spidey senses just tell me to be cautious in these last weeks of July, that there might be a surprise dump. I don't know. My spidey senses tells me it might be tied to some kind of scares of war and something popping off. I don't know. But I just say be cautious around those times. There's a lot of things going on too. If you're into WD-GAN, there's a few little astronomy things going on at those points too. We got the retrogrades that are going on starting soon, and some of them even starting now. Mars is coming into play there around that time, and I'm just kind of curious what's going to happen. I'm just saying it's cautionary. Be cautioned. The real fun will be starting in September, in my personal opinion. Did they add some more? Hey, Haven, I don't know if... Oh, wait a minute. Is that still here? Yeah. I don't know if you're still here, Haven, but I know you're into based fart coin. It just got listed on the moonshot list. I'm going to post this new list over into the... apparently, they updated after I start my show. I want to post these new coins over here. So it looks like Fartcoin on base Fartcoin, FXN, I don't even know what that is, FX Protocol, Puffer, Moby, and then some of them are still the same. Post that over into the lounge area here. The date on there, 7/12/25. Oops. So I've got it posted over there in the lounge as soon as it gets through loading up there. What the hell is wrong with this computer? But there might be some cool projects over there. Maybe that base Fartcoin's getting ready to do something. I don't know.